Hello, everyone. This is Ben Schwartz with this new edition of Between Two Cards. I'm lucky today to be joined by Leah Shu, Otterbein alum and one of my friends. And so kicking on over to Leah. Thanks for joining us today. And Leah, for everybody else out there, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, so my name is Leah Shu. I graduated 2011 from Otterbein. I graduated with a public relations and speech communication degree. I then went on to graduate from University of Dayton with a higher education administration degree. And I previously worked at Otterbein with Ben in the Center for Student Involvement. And then currently I work at Ohio State University in their College of Education and Human Ecology, doing first year programs, orientation, and all kinds of retention efforts. So thanks for having me, Ben.
That's awesome. Hey, it's great to be, it's like we're in a room again. It's like we're in the office.
Yeah,
sure. So Leah, how has your Otterbein education inside and out of the classroom made an impact on you and or a difference in your life?
So I think that what made the difference for me was when I was coming to school, I really thought I was going to have this like clear-cut path, like I'll start with marketing and then I'll get a job. I'll work for an agency like they do on What Women Want. That was very cool back then with Helen Hunt and Mel Gibson. But I took econ and I was like, cool, that's not for me. So I made my way to the communications department, and that really felt like a better fit. It was a little bit more a smaller unit. I felt like I had a lot more opportunity to be hands-on in the classroom, a lot of group projects. I took advanced public speaking, which was a little scary, but ultimately was a great class, and I really enjoyed it. And I would say, too, the integrative studies courses that I had to take, that really made a difference because it allowed me to be in classes with students that weren't in my major. So I got different perspectives, different backgrounds. And then I was able to learn different things that I wouldn't necessarily learn. So I learned about like death and dying, and I took like a philosophy class with Doc Z. And so like those kinds of classes were really cool because it was something completely out of my realm, but I was able to take what I was learning in those classes and kind of infuse them in my different courses. So it really made a big impact because I felt more well-rounded and I could speak to different things in interviews rather than just solely about communication. So
that's really cool. Awesome. So through that, was there somebody at Otterbein that you encountered that really made a difference in your experience?
Yeah, so there was a faculty and a staff member, I'll say. So the faculty member was Chris Reynolds. So she worked, she's a communications instructor, professor. So Chris actually taught a lot of the classes that I was in. One of my favorite was persuasion. So we got to learn like how to persuade people and different kind of things that they use within communications and things like that. So it was great to be in class with her because she challenged you to think differently. I also took a class with her about generations in the workplace, and it was just really interesting to hear about all the different things that kind of impact how you view the world. And I just love that she didn't only encourage us to think differently, but she would challenge us in a really constructive way to kind of like, okay, if you think that, why? And be able to back it up. And the communication department as a whole was really like that. So it was really great to be kind of in a unit that really felt like, not only are they going to encourage you along the way, but they're going to push you and support you so that you can be the best student and then, professional. And then I would say in terms of staff member, Kate Lehman is definitely right here. So Kate hired me to be a peer mentor when peer mentors were like first starting. So she took me under her wing and really allowed me to, grow into the leader that I am now. She helped me when I was trying to decide on graduate schools after graduation. So I called her freaking out. I was like, I don't like my job. Like, I want to go back to school. And she was like, okay, come in. We're going to chat about it. So I'm just so thankful for her guidance and patience with me. And then when I worked at Otterbein, she was a great colleague as well and really kind of helped me through motherhood and just kind of like navigating work in general. So she's been a godsend too.
I think like that's been one of the cool things for me to just kind of seeing that connection is that just doesn't stop after your 4 or 5 years at Otterbein. It continues on.
We're just texting Kate earlier today. I mean, it's just, yeah, she's been great.
You're always part of the Cardinal family.
Yeah.
So kind of go into that. What do you think it means to be a Cardinal?
That is a loaded question. I think it can mean a lot of things, but and I guess I'll just kind of redirect it the way that I want to answer it. To be at Otterbein, to be a Cardinal, I think really is you're able to kind of find your own. It's definitely a home feeling where, you know, you're able to kind of like be your own person and try new things and do things differently. But it's space to let you become who you are. So you're able to kind of explore and do things differently, but then you also have that support system there. At least I feel like I did, not only from my peers, but from my instructors, from the staff. I think that that's one of the things that makes Otterbein unique is it's so welcoming and open, and then allows you to really kind of like embrace yourself, you know, like, okay, this is who I am now. You know, when I worked at Otterbein too, students coming in their first year, you know, they definitely come in and you're like, okay. And then by the time they graduate, you've seen them kind of evolve into who they are. And I would hope that students feel that they have the space to do that, because I think that that's one of the great things about Otterbein. It's just that ability to try new things, do things differently, and feel embraced to do so.
Great. That's awesome. All right, Leah, we're down to the last part of Between Two Cards. It is Otterbein's edition of This or That. Get ready. All right, first one, very controversial. Cardinal or Otter?
Oh, it's so hard. I got to go with the Otters because I love the history behind it. I love that it's just like people think we're the Otters because we're Otterbein and we're clearly not. But I just love that it used to be that different buildings would have different mascots. So like Maine had like an otter, like when I lived there, had an otter like kind of everywhere, and then other buildings had other ones. Maybe they all had otters, I don't know. But I like the like history behind it. I think it's fun. And it's like a unique thing that like not everybody knows.
Cool. All right. Roost or the bean?
That's hard. When you say the Roost, you mean the one in the Cardinal, in the campus center?
No, and over in Roush.
Okay, Roost Express. Okay, got it.
Express.
Well, it's gone through a lot of names, so I had to be clear. I'm gonna go with the Roost because in school they used to make a mean grilled cheese with some chippies and pickles, and that's how I got through my day. Loved it.
Grilled cheese, chips, pickles.
Yeah. And then West, we would take a break and get a nice breakfast Sammy. So then pop back in, or not. I don't know.
All about the Sammy. Love it. All right. Focusing on food. Late night breakfast or spaghetti dinner at Church of the Master?
I'm going to say late night breakfast because I've been on both sides.
You have.
Eggs, served a lot of bacon. But I love it because both of them are great because it's people helping people out and serving each other. But I really liked late night breakfast because CAB was able to kind of put on their own theme, and usually it was really fun. And then eventually like homecoming court got announced at late night breakfast. So it was really more of a like kind of event, not just like a meal. It really turned into something more. And it was kind of a cool, especially at the end of the year, it was a cool like wrap up for the year and even every semester. So.
And shout out to Campus Activities Board.
Yeah.
All right. Now, here was a question that you're kind of alluding to. Den or the nest? Which I know was not the den necessarily when you were there.
It wasn't. Well, then can I just say Quiznos? Because it used to be Quiznos.
You can say Quiznos.
Okay. I'm going with Quiznos because it was so great. And sometimes it was nice to just like grab your food and go. And you can't really do that in the nest. So.
Not as much. All right. Next one. Java Central or Espresso Aware, Heavenly Cup, whatever was there when you were there?
Java Central, hands down.
There it is. And the final this or that question, and I know already where you're going to go with it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. On your donut run, white milk, chocolate milk?
Chocolate milk. You know this.
I do. Well, Leah Shu, thank you so much for joining me today and being here on Between Two Cards. I appreciate your fun in the background, your reference, and just you. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.